There he is, Merciless. And I'm using one of the boxes from the Robin Earth 22 because he doesn't have his own box since he's a Build-A-Figure. But we have Robin where that torso piece comes from, and I'm trying to get as many as I can of this Robin. He is definitely my favorite figure out of this wave, and I want an army of him standing there with the Batman Who Laughs. Not too terribly many. I don't want to take away from other collectors, but I do want a bunch of them. It's cool, and I've seen him around a lot, so he's not as much of a chase figure as he was towards the beginning of the year, so that's always good. But let's get this guy together. We got all of the pieces here, so we will start to assemble this monster. Boy. And he's kind of you got to be careful because you got to grip, you know, these pieces so tight to push them into the joints and everything, but he's got so many spikes and everything, so it's not the most comfortable thing to do. But you're hurting my fingers. Get in there. I'm on the Elite Legend Struggle Bus at the moment. Alright, there's his arms. This just looks cool. I can't wait to see this guy. Let's see. Let's find out if we have his shoes on the right feet. Or should we say the legs on the right side? Okay. Left leg. No real big clicking sound. I think those are on there pretty good. He's got these spikes on the on his toes that they are kind of sharp. He's already taller than the frame. Boy, that's kind of hard on the. Look at that. Aren't we struggling a little bit to get that all connected? But I think we got it. And I'm guessing that is maybe. I could be wrong. Oh, it has a. How about that? It's labeled in there. An L for the left side. How about that? Ooh, that one. Those pieces went in easier than any of the others. Ah, there he is. And the Batman Who Laughs with the tyrant wings has been holding on to the sword while we assembled the other pieces to Voltron this guy up. And he has relinquished the sword to Merciless, so he could now wield it in all his glory. Now, from what I understand, this is a combination of Batman and Wonder Woman, and it's got that cool emblem there. And I'm just noticing, I always notice the Wonder Woman, but right now I am noticing that it has the bat ears on it, and the whole thing is in the shape of the bat symbol. So either you're seeing that too for the first time, or you're saying, yeah, duh, Joe. Either way, that's very cool. Let's see if we can get him balanced. Let's get him on point. How about that? That'll work. Oh, he is cool. I love this skull and the chains there. That is probably my favorite part with that cloth. That just really does it for old Joe. That is awesome. And then we got this fur collar, which is very cool. Let's take a look at the articulation of this guy. Now, I'm not expecting much in the way of head. I think this is the first time I've not been able to spin a figure's head around out of the reviews I've done to a Exorcist 360. Not looking down too terribly much, but he doesn't need to if he doesn't feel like it. I wouldn't mess with him. These shoulder armor on him is kind of preventing his arm movement a bit, but if you take him off, his arms do rotate around, and he goes up quite a bit. How about that? His arms do go up pretty far, but with that shoulder, not so much, depending on how you want to display him or what you're expecting to do with this figure. Him standing on the shelf with the rest of the death metal DC Multiverse figures, just standing there as menacing as he looks, I think would be good enough, at least for Joe. But he's a little stiff. Got about 90 degrees or so on his elbow movement. Goes around, can go all the way around with his waist. Can bend forward a little bit. Usually they can bend back a lot more, which he does. And his legs go, wow, he does a surprising almost full splits. No ankle or thigh swivel to speak of, but where that connects up there is a little movement in there, so he's a little pliable there. This is really, if you get this guy in your hands, or if you do, you'll realize moving him around, these spikes really do a number on your hands. So, but his knee, God, every time I push on him, it just digs in. This guy is literally a badass. Goes back about that far. And he's got the unnecessary toe articulation. This is a DC Multiverse, so the ankle pivot is mostly non-existent, but his feet do go back and forth like so, enough to get him standing. He's got that nice sword. That sword probably could benefit from a blackwash, but I think we're going to leave it alone around here in the multiverse for now. Got that nice sculpted fur hanging off the back. This chain is very nice. A little stiff. It is movable. So when you do move his legs around, he's able to move that. But this is, even his butt has got some nice sculpt to it, for whatever that's worth to you. And just the whole feel of him. I mean, this is a lot of sculpt. I wish he. The only thing I could say, because he does have such a great sculpt, and he's got a lot of dimension, and a lot of just a lot of depth with his just kind of almost 3D, if you will. He just looks great. There's just a lot to him. The only thing I could really say is, because it's mostly all this one color, might take away from it a little bit, but he's just so good looking. And when you do buy a lot of figures and collect them all to build a figure, you do have a little more appreciation for it. So even, at least for me, I have a lot of appreciation, a lot of gratitude when I get my hands on a figure, especially when I kind of go the extra mile to get it, whether that be a hard to find or an exclusive or a Build-A-Figure. I just have a lot more appreciation for the figure, the more work that is put into getting it. So even the couple little things that might not be high on the list of positives, I still really like this figure. Gratitude goes a long way. Having a little hard time kind of balancing him here. If we turn him a little bit. Yeah, I think we have him balanced. He is looking menacing, looking scary. I'm really happy with this figure and happy that I have him. I could probably do a size comparison here if I can get my hands on one of my Batmans. We'll set the Grim Knight here, so he is towering over the Batman, and we have the Red Hood. So this is a pretty big figure, and that's what we want. That's what we want in our Build-A-Figures, don't we? We want a lot of plastic, we want a lot of size. We buy a lot of other figures, a lot of times buying figures that we wouldn't normally get, characters that we don't even know who they are or don't like them at all for a number of reasons, and we buy them to get these pieces. So we want to feel like we have our money's worth. And with a figure like this, I think that we are receiving that. He is a great looking character, a great looking figure, a lot of plastic, a lot of weight, feels beefy, and I'm going to have a lot of fun displaying him, taking some pictures, and I'm very, very happy, very, very satisfied with this guy. So anybody else out there have all the pieces to put this guy together? Have you assembled him? Are you posing him? Are you digging pieces out of your hands, trying to handle this behemoth? I like him a lot. Let me know if what you're thinking about this whole wave. There's a lot of figures in here that I like, that I love. Love the Robin Earth 22. It is my favorite, and I'm getting all the variants to those Robin Earth 22s, but this is fantastic. All right, well, if you would, it would mean the world to me if you would hit that like button and like Joe's Multiverse video here, and subscribe if you'd like to. Leave a comment. I love responding to the comments. I'm having a blast with that, and any of your comments will always get a heart from Joe's Multiverse. All right, until the next time we put a Build-A-Figure together and enter the multiverse, I will see you later.